Hello. So what if you just wanted to look at the backlinks in detail for one particular domain? In that case, I would choose SEMRush and I would go here in link building, backlink analytics. All you need to do is put your domain in at the top here. Always choose root domain. So that's the entire domain itself. It's not a exact URL, because you can look at the backlinks, go into a particular page if you wanted to, or a subdomain. So if this had maybe book.beefeater.co.uk, that would be the subdomain, or a subfolder, so maybe / articles or blog. You could look at all the links going to a particular subfolder, but generally speaking, I'm going to be looking at the root domain, unless I'm doing a project that is just focused on a particular subfolder within that domain itself. So here we are. Here are the stats for Beefeater: 2.1k referring domains, 148,000 backlinks, and so on and so forth. And you've got a lot of charts down here. Network graph, I think this is quite new. And need to look into it a bit more. Authority score, referring domains over time. So these are the ones that SEMrush has found, and then some of them have kind of dropped off. They might have recrawled it, and the link is no longer there. And the number of backlinks in total. You can see them rising over time. And sometimes it is interesting to look at these charts. Sometimes, for example, in new and lost referring domains, you will see big peaks or big losses. And it may be a case, if there is a problem with the website, you might see a lot of losses or something, and that could actually impact on the rankings of the website, and you need to investigate further. But this is a conversation for another day. Top anchors, so these are the text that the website is being linked to on. So if you imagine an article, it might have Longford in Beefeater written in that article, and the link is the entirety of that text. Or a lot of them will just be linking on the word Beefeater, or beefeater.co.uk, for example. This can be interesting to have a look at. What we're looking for in anchors is to have quite a variety these days, and not be too spammy with it. Categories of referring domains. So this is SEMrush's own categorization of a domain. So if you think about Beefeater, it would be within a food and drink. But a lot of the referring domains are actually in different business categorizations. Sometimes this can be useful, other times it can be a little bit misleading. Moving on, we've got referring domains by authority score. So maybe taking a bit of a pinch of salt with authority score, but this suggests to us that they've only got one linking domain that has an authority score between 91 and 100, and obviously that grows as you go down. So between 11 and 20, they've got the majority of their links coming from these sites that SEMrush says have got quite a low authority score. Some of these will be weird spammy sites. You'll see a lot of those in backlink profiles. I guess ideally what we're aiming for is this sort of mid to high section. And like I said elsewhere, authority score I wouldn't necessarily rely on, because it is a bit of a made up metric and it can lead you down the wrong path. Link types, so most of the links, 99% of them, are text links. Sometimes there's an image instead, so you click on the image and it will take you through to Beefeater, so that's probably a logo or something like that. And then you've got these other ones as well, form and frame links. Usually you will find everything being the vast majority being a text link these days. And then we've got follow and no follow link attributes. So what we want is our links to be followed, because they give us SEO value, compared to the no followed ones, which specifically do not pass any value when it comes to SEO signals to our website. And then we've got things like top level domain distribution. So this is .com, .co, UK, government, education sites. This really doesn't matter. There's so many UK businesses that will use .com. It is interesting sometimes to know if a site has links coming from government websites or education ones, because these have always been seen as high quality, because they're very difficult to get on, and that's what makes them high quality. Top countries, this is really where the server is hosted. So you see, a lot of the servers for websites are within the USA, but then, it really doesn't matter anymore for SEO. It's not going to be a signal, because if you think about Beefeater, they might have just spent money with an American company to host their website. Doesn't really tell Google much else than that. Wouldn't really worry about these. Top pages can be interesting, but really when I come to this page and I'm looking for backlinks, that's where I'm going to be going. So I'm going to click on backlinks here, and we've got 148,000 backlinks, and that, quite frankly, is too many for anybody to export and have a really good look at. So what we need to do now is narrow them down, because this will give us backlinks, all 148,000 of them. It will give us backlinks from this one domain, all of these different backlinks coming from it, and we need to sort of narrow this down so that we can actually look into it and find the valuable ones. And we can see here we've got 147,000. So what we're going to do, first of all, I would always select links per referring domain rather than all. I would choose one. So that's going to narrow our number of backlinks down quite significantly. It's just going to give me one backlink for each referring domain, and it's now taken us down to just over 2,000. So that's a huge difference. So that's very useful. Could also select follow, because we know that followed links are the important ones for SEO. So click that. Let's see how many it takes it down to now. There we go, we've got 1,300. And I might stop at that point, because I think I can look through that many domains and pick out the really good ones, depending on what job that I'm doing. If I'm exporting this list to kind of pick out what good links this site has, then 1,300, that's reasonable enough. We can go to export, Excel, and that will give me an export of all the different links coming from here, and all of the pages, of which there are 14. So yeah, when you are looking at backlinks, you'll tend to find that it is just an overwhelming figure if you are dealing with a reasonably good big website. So always go here first, because we only want the one link per domain to look at, and then I would filter by follow as well. Sometimes I would leave in all, because it may be interesting to see those no followed ones, and other times, if you are dealing with a site that is massive and receives millions of backlinks, then you may just look at the time period. So say the last 6 months, because those links are likely to be quite valuable, because they've been recently made, and it gives you a better idea of the sort of the ways and means that that particular website have been collecting backlinks. If you look back over 5-10 years, you might get a lot of backlinks in here which use very old backlink building processes that you would not want to emulate anymore. So depending on the size of your website and how many backlinks are going to it, you would filter first by referring domain, then select follow, and then filter more by time period if necessary. In this case, I don't think so, because I think I could look through that many and make a judgment call on them. And that is how I would look at the backlinks for one individual website.